What if a frantic 911 call in the dead of night captured the final moments of a man's desperate plea for help, only for him to vanish without a trace, leaving behind a chilling mystery that baffled investigators for years? Picture this: a father of four, out of gas on a desolate Texas highway, whispering about being chased into the woods by unknown pursuers. Was it paranoia from a hidden struggle, a deadly encounter with strangers, or something far more sinister? Today, we delve into the baffling vanishing of Brandon Lawson, a case riddled with cryptic phone calls, unanswered questions, and a discovery that only deepened the enigma. The ordinary life, Brandon's background, and family ties. Brandon Mason Lawson was a hard-working 26-year-old oilfield worker from San Angelo, Texas, known for his dedication to his family despite personal battles. Born on November 18, 1986, he shared a home with his longtime girlfriend of 10 years, Ladessa Lofton, and their 4 children, 3 together and 1 from a previous relationship. Standing at 5 feet 9 inches with a sturdy build, Brandon was described by loved ones as a devoted father who prioritized his kids above all else. However, beneath this facade, he grappled with substance abuse issues, particularly methamphetamine, though he had maintained sobriety for about 6 months leading up to his disappearance. His family included his parents, Bradley and Kimberly Lawson, siblings Kyle and Brittany, and half-brother Billy Brown. Life in San Angelo revolved around his job in the oil fields, family outings, and occasional tensions that stemmed from his past addictions. Friends and relatives painted Brandon as a reliable guy with a quick smile, but his relationship with Ladessa wasn't without strain. On the evening of August 8, 2013, that strain boiled over. Brandon hadn't come home the night before, and Ladessa suspected he had relapsed into drug use. Their argument escalated around 10:45 to 11 p.m., fueled by accusations and frustrations. In the heat of the moment, Brandon decided to leave, calling his father in Crowley, Texas, a 3-hour drive away, to say he was heading there for the night. At 11:54 p.m., he stormed out, climbing into his silver Ford F-150 pickup truck. This impulsive decision set the stage for a night that would end in tragedy as Brandon drove north on US Route 277, a lonely stretch of highway cutting through sparse, wooded terrain between San Angelo and Bronte. The fateful drive. Out of gas and into panic. As Brandon sped away from home, the clock ticked toward midnight. Around 12:30 a.m. on August 9th, his truck sputtered to a halt on Highway 277 just south of Bronte, an isolated area flanked by fields and thick brush, far from any immediate help. He quickly called his brother Kyle, explaining he had run out of gas and needed assistance. Kyle later recounted that during this call, Brandon sounded agitated, claiming, "3 expletives are chasing me out of town," specifically mentioning the Mexicans in the neighborhood. Kyle questioned if Brandon was hallucinating, but Brandon insisted he wasn't. The brothers exchanged several more calls, though Brandon's responses grew short and disjointed, often hanging up abruptly. Kyle, along with his wife and their 4-year-old child, grabbed a gas can from Brandon's house, where Ladessa was preparing for bed, and headed to the scene. Meanwhile, at 12:50 a.m., Brandon dialed 911, connecting to a nursing home dispatcher in nearby Robert Lee due to the rural setup. His voice frantic and breathless, he reported, "Yes, I'm in the middle of a field and pulled some guys over, right here going toward Abilene, on both sides. My truck ran out of gas. There's 1 car here. The guy's chasing inaudible to the woods. Please hurry." The dispatcher tried to clarify, but Brandon's words tumbled out incoherently. "No, I'm not talking to him. I accidentally ran into him." When asked if he needed an ambulance, he replied, "No, I need the cops." Background noises suggested movement, perhaps running, and the call ended with muffled sounds, sparking debates about possible gunshots or a faint "help me." Just 6 minutes later, at 12:56 a.m., a passing trucker called 911 to report Brandon's vehicle parked hazardously, partially blocking the road. Between 12:50 a.m. and 1:15 a.m., Brandon made and received multiple calls to Kyle, Ladessa, a neighbor, and the dispatcher, but poor cell reception caused many to drop or go to voicemail. By 1:19 a.m., his phone went silent, all incoming calls routing straight to voicemail. Around 1 a.m., a sheriff's deputy arrived at the truck, finding it unlocked with no visible damage, but Brandon was nowhere in sight. Kyle pulled up shortly after, around 1:10 a.m., still on the phone with Brandon, who claimed, "I can see you, I'm right here," and even mentioned bleeding. Yet neither Kyle nor the deputy spotted him. With an active warrant for Brandon from an old drug charge, Kyle assumed he was hiding in the bushes to avoid arrest. The immediate aftermath, searches and growing alarm. After a brief check, the deputy cleared cleared the scene. Kyle stayed 30 to 45 minutes calling for Brandon before leaving the gas can in the truck bed. When he returned at 5 a.m., the truck was untouched and Brandon still missing. By 8 a.m., it was towed. In Ledessa, unaware until morning, grew alarmed when calls went unanswered. Only days later, reviewing phone records, did the family learn of Brandon's 911 call, never acted on by authorities. Police organized a search around the truck but found no footprints, blood, or signs of struggle. The rugged terrain, woods, uneven ground, hidden wells, and wildlife made the effort difficult. Family and friends launched the Help Find Brandon Lawson Facebook page, which grew to 29,000 followers. Despite extensive searches with volunteers, dogs, and aerial sweeps, no trace appeared. Brandon's bank accounts showed no activity, his phone stayed off, and his wallet, keys, and cell were presumed with him. Over the years, rumors and tips surfaced but went nowhere. Theories ranged from staging his disappearance to drug-fueled disorientation or foul play. Kyle later admitted Brandon had used meth that night, adding context to his erratic calls. The released 911 audio fueled debate. Did he say staper, taper, or chaser? Some even claimed to hear gunshots or cries in the background. The long-awaited breakthrough, remains, and lingering questions. After nearly 9 years of anguish, a pivotal discovery emerged. In February 2022, a private search found clothing matching Brandon's near his last known location. Texas Rangers joined the sweep, uncovering human remains. The family announced the find on Facebook, awaiting confirmation. On December 25th, 2024, Ledessa revealed the DNA results. The remains were Brandon's. Relief mingled with grief. His death confirmed, but the cause still uncertain. No clear signs of foul play surfaced, yet the circumstances demanded answers. Speculation endures. Some believe drugs left him disoriented, leading him into the woods where heat, dehydration, or injury proved fatal, his body hidden for years by the unforgiving terrain. Others suspect road rage, a confrontation escalating into a chase that drove him too far to return. The missing minutes before his truck ran out of gas sparked questions, though mapping suggests the drive fits the timeline. Even with closure, mysteries remain. What pursued him that night? Why his frantic pleas? And why was his 911 call dismissed? Brandon's story underscores the dangers of rural disappearances, where weak signals and delayed response can turn survival into tragedy. This case reminds us how fragile life can be on a lonely road where one wrong turn leads to eternal questions. If it gripped you like it did me, smash that like button, subscribe for more unsolved enigmas, and drop your theory in the comments. What do you think really happened to Brandon?